Alright, so today what we are talking about is connotation and denotation. Can anyone define what either of those are? Any ideas? Has anyone heard those terms before?
No.
Okay, alright. Well, let me give you the definition. Just write it somewhere on your packet. Okay? Maybe, I know you have some space down here on your right-hand side, so go ahead and write it there. If you need help with spelling, they are written on the board under the date. That's how you spell connotation and denotation. Yes, John. All right. Denotation is the specific, exact, and concrete meaning of a word. I'll repeat that for you guys.
Wait.
Denotation is the specific, exact, and concrete meaning of a word. Don't say anything, just write it down. Just write it down. The specific, exact, and concrete meaning of a word. Anybody need that again? The specific, exact, and concrete meaning of a word. Okay? So this is the literal meaning. If you look a word up in the dictionary, you will find this type. Connotation is a bit different. Connotation is the attitudes, feelings, and emotions aroused by a word. The attitudes, feelings, and emotions aroused by a word. One more time. The attitudes, feelings, and emotions aroused by a word. Now keep in mind, a word can have positive or negative connotations. Okay? Some words have different connotations to different people. Okay? So imagine Mr. Russell next door. One of the words you have on your list here, number 16, is daughter. Think about how the connotation of that word might be different for him than it is for you. You know that he has 5 daughters. Okay. So let's take a look at some of these words. Before we do that, let me give you one illustration of how they're different. Let's use house and home. House is more of an example of denotation. Okay. Any ideas as to why that is, Michael?
Because in a house, it's just a regular place. You don't feel any weight towards it.
Yes. A house is just a physical structure where people live. Okay. But a home, how is that different? Amir?
Because a home is like something, a place that's special to a person, probably.
Mm-hmm.
It brings back memories.
Good. Raphael, anything to add?
Like a house would be, like you said, a structure, and a home would be something you cherish and
Sure.
own.
Okay. A home is much more than just where you live. It's where your loved ones live, maybe. It's where you have a feeling of comfort, security. So that's how they're different. And for that example, would that be a positive or negative connotation? Okay. Now think about this. What if there was a student here who came from a really rough home? his father was always out gambling, and his mom was always yelling at him. Do you think the connotation there would be positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Okay. So keep in mind it does depend to a certain extent on the perspective of that person. Okay? For most of us, thankfully, the word home has a positive connotation. Okay. All right, so let's look at exercise number 1. That would be just on the first page of the handout. Let's go through some of these as a class. Just take a look. All of these words should have either a clear positive, or a clear negative connotation. Now, I know that some of them can be interpreted in a way that is maybe a bit different, but just give me your initial reaction to the word, okay? So, can someone please tell me, for number 1, do you have a positive or negative connotation? Michael.
Positive.
Okay, positive. Well, go ahead and read the word for us.
Dessert.
Dessert. Okay, why is that positive?
Everybody likes dessert.
Okay, everyone likes dessert. Good. Number 2, let's get someone quieter. Talia. Negative connotation. Right, you got to get a shot. It's a sickness. It'll slow you down, make you feel kind of bad. Good. Yeah, Mariam.
Negative, monster.
Okay, yeah, number 3, monster. Negative. And why is that?
Because people don't like monsters.
Right, because they scare us. Mm-hmm. How about number 4, Romero?
Positive,
Okay, why?
because people like to listen to
Mm-hmm. Good. So music can make us feel happy. It can make us feel sad. It can make us feel a lot of different things. But overall, music is something that enriches our life. Let's do a few more. Number 5, worm. Laura. Hmm?
Positive connotation.
Okay. Why? It's healthy. Okay.
Huh?
Does anyone have a different answer for number 5? Someone besides Michael. Well, go ahead. Go ahead, Mike.
Negative. Because
Okay.
worms are nasty.
Yeah, because they are kind of unappealing. Disgusting. Raphael?
It's a positive.
Are you on number 5? 6. Number 6. Okay. Number 6. Yeah. Positive. Okay. For progress. Why is progress positive?
Because everybody likes to make progress and needs to make progress.
Okay. Good. All right. Number 7. Derek.
positive jewels,
Jewels. Okay. Why?
because they're beautiful.
Mm-hmm. They're beautiful. They represent wealth. Maybe. Number 8. Kenny.
Success, because people want to succeed in what their talent is. They probably like that.
Good. Okay. Number 9. Xavier. What? Gangs are bad, yes. Number 10, Heaven.
Negative, because, circus, because, not everybody likes clowns when you go to a circus.
Okay. Yeah, that's a very good point. Someone once said to me that it's kind of weird that clowns are in circuses because circuses are entertaining, but they're not necessarily funny.
True.
The thing I think to consider there is that, well, it's a very interesting dichotomy because neither are clowns. I mean, they do entertaining things, but really, what are clowns?
Jokes.
Right. They're tragic. They're caricatures that we ridicule. The only humor that we derive from a clown is that of mockery. So actually, clowns really, in the essence, are not supposed to be funny. They're more tragic. So I could accept that. However, what do you think is the surface reaction for number 10?
Positive.
Positive.
Mhm. People go to the circus because they're in a good mood. They want to see the lion tamer or the person jump through a ring of fire or elephants, right? So, yeah, I would say 10 circa should probably be positive, but you could, of course, make a case for it being negative. Number 11. Yes, Jakey.
Negative,
Negative. Okay, what's the word?
Monday,
Monday. Yes. Why is that negative?
because nobody like Monday.
Why does no one like Mondays? Go ahead. Yeah, Shemaya.
I would say Monday is positive because it's the start of a brand new week.
Okay, that's a good way to look at it. Sebastian.
I say Mondays are negative because it cuts out your relaxation after a weekend.
Okay. And this is a little, well, actually, this is really before your time, but has anyone ever heard of a movie called Office Space?
I think I
Is
heard
it
of
like
it.
what that dude was like, yeah, I'm gonna
Yes.
be- yeah.
His name is Lumberg.
Oh, no.
It's a satire of office culture in the United States, and how much this guy just hates working in a cubicle. And there's a woman in it who always comes up to him every day, and he's always kind of down, and so she says, "Oh, well, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays," and he hates that so much. It's just one little thing that makes his life slightly worse. Okay, so Mondays, yeah, generally, if you've seen Office Space, you can probably relate. Generally, Mondays have kind of a negative connotation. No one really looks at the calendar and is like, man, I can't wait for Monday. Contrary to what the NFL Monday Night Football guys might tell you. Unless it's your birthday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Mario?
I wanted to do 12.
Number 12, go ahead.
I say positive. Oh, the words weekend. And I say positive because
Okay. Yeah, number 13. TV positive. You guys agree? Okay. All right. Jonathan. Okay. All right. Kenny. Oh, I thought you had something to. All right, go ahead, Raphael.
It's more of an opinion depending on the person and what they like to watch.
Okay. Yeah, I guess TV could be either favorable or unfavorable. I guess it really just depends.
On what you're watching.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, number 14. Okay.
Negative?
Yeah. Why? What's the word for number 14?
Oh, murder.
Murder.
Nobody likes to die.
Yeah.
none of them want like murder.
Yeah. Heather.
Murder can be positive. What? Because look, what if you murder a bad person? Look, if it was a bad person, like Osama bin Laden, and he died, like people was kind of glad he died.
Okay.
Because he possibly
That just passed away.
You would murder a person.
Yeah. Okay. So that could kind of be like vendetta or what am I? Oh, vigilante justice, I guess. Not that
Oh, yeah,
Bin
that's true.
Laden was that, but murdering a murderer. Yeah.
I don't think it's negative either way you think about it, because there's always gonna be, at the end of the day, you kill someone,
That's
not a good
thing.
it's like it's like you feel your humanity. It's like you wouldn't want to kill another person.
I could not have said it better myself. I still think that murder 14 should be just negative.
It's still negative altogether.
I don't think you can really draw a positive.
Somebody dies.
I guess
Yeah, guys.
as it says in the Bible, those who kill shall be killed.
Okay, what? Could you say that again?
Those who kill shall
What
be
did?
killed.
Sorry, what did you say before that?
Oh, as it says in the Bible.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. One of the 10 Commandments, I think, is do not kill. Thou shalt not kill. Okay, 15. Guys, please be quiet if you're not the one answering the question. Number 15. Omari.
Negative.
Okay, why is that? War. Why is war negative?
War can be very dangerous, and a lot of people can die.
Yeah, dangerous and a lot of people die. Yes, Raphael.
Yeah, it's negative because lots of families can lose loved ones, and it's just all around a bad subject.
Okay, yes. Number 16, Amira.
Positive,
Okay?
because, okay, so it's like, it's our daughter, right? Because it's your daughter, you know? And just she's related to you, and I was gonna say that.
That's fine. No, that's good. Raphael and then Kenny.
It could be positive for me, but negative for some people. Like if you didn't want a daughter in a situation at the time you're in.
Okay, good. Kenny?
Doesn't it depend on the point of view? Like if you're the father or if you're the mother?
Sure, yeah. You know, it does. It certainly does depend on the point of view in this case. Think about a young woman who, you know, has a child and then cannot take care of it economically and has to put it him or her up for adoption. Do you think that when she hears the word daughter, that's happy or sad for her?
Sad.
It could be sad. I mean, she on one hand could be happy that she, you know, had this baby girl who is now alive. But it could be sad for her because. 17. Yeah, Heaven.
Negative because you lose all your money and everything you have.
Yeah. Okay, so debt. Everyone know what debt is?
Yes.
Okay. Michael.
Could it be positive,
And how could that be?
depending on the denotation? Because in debt, it could be like owing money, or it could be owe someone a favor, like, because it could be positive for you because someone, like, let's say I got you a car, you can be in debt to me because I gave you a car. So one day when I need something that's important, I'll have you who can help me.
Okay, keep in mind, denotation is just the dictionary definition. Okay? So there's no real emotional interpretation there. It's just whatever the word means in a literal sense. So connotation is the one where we really are drawing a kind of an emotional reaction to that, a visceral reaction. All right. Cammy, are you okay? Yeah. Talia, are you okay? All right. A little too much noise coming from that corner of the room, okay? So just tone it down. All right. Number 18. Let's see, diamonds.
Negative.
Okay, why is 18 traffic? Why is traffic negative?
Because
If you gotta go somewhere.
Yeah, slows you down, right? Yeah, Sebastian.
Actually, what slows you down is the traffic jam. Traffic is just the way cars go on the road.
Okay, so
It's not
yeah, that's a
positive,
good point. So could be positive, I guess.
but traffic jam is
I guess you have to specify in this case whether it's light traffic or heavy traffic. That's an excellent point. Okay, 19 springtime, Derek.
Good. I mean, positive because everybody hates snow, so snow is finished. It's
Not everyone hates snow, but yeah, I mean, it is nice after a long cold season, right, to have new life. Michael?
It could be positive because springtime is allergy season.
Yes.
No, negative, yeah.
Yeah, allergy season, that's a good point. Anyone have really bad seasonal allergies in here?
My sister.
I got some.
I have to take their test. All right, 20. true.
leads to
Yes, it's a slippery slope.
That can cause a lot.
Shemai, something to add?
Yeah, being a liar is negative because in the end, something bad is always.
Okay, good. All right, I have to dismiss you guys for lunch. So, which of them has a neutral connotation, and which of them is a bit more negative sounding? Any ideas? No. All right. Xavier, give her a hand.
There's a positive connotation of anxiety.
Yes.
Is what?
It's positive.
Exotic is positive. And then, what did you say, Omar? Foreign is neutral, yes. So what does that mean for negative? Yeah.
Strange.
Strange. Right. Now I know that some of these could fit across multiple boxes, I guess. But do you know what the word exotic means?
Yes, wild or
Yeah.
It's maybe like not what you're used to, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of intriguing. It's new, it's different. It's something that fascinates you because it's not familiar. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing to be exotic. Foreign? What does foreign mean?
Something that's not like from there.
Yeah, from a different place. And then strange is just weird. Yeah. Okay. So what would you rather be called? Like strange or exotic?
exotic.
Have you ever seen like for a Ferrari or a Lamborghini?
Uh-huh.
You know what they call those? They call them,
Foreign
well, they call them foreign. They are foreign, but they call those exotic sports cars.
Oh.
Because like foreign cars, that's like a BMW or a nice, Audi or Fiat, yeah. But exotic sports cars are the really like high end. You're paying like 6 figures to get those. Yeah, Lamborghinis, Bugattis, whatever. Kind of like the stuff that I drive. I drive a Honda Civic. All right. Number 3. Ken.
For positive, you put chat.
Okay. Yeah.
And for neutral, you can put talk.
Mm-hmm.
And for negative, you can put down.
Good. Okay. Yes. Any questions on that one?
What about
Babble is just like incessant murmuring, incessant noise, a lot of talking. Jakeem, what's going on then? If you have a question, I can answer it for you. Okay. All right. Could talk or chat be used in a negative connotation though?
Yes.
How?
Your parents might want to give you
Talking during
What if you came home and showed your dad or mom your report card and you had a big fat F written on it, and they said, "Well, looks like we gotta have a talk."
I got number 4.
All right, good. So yeah, Orion, go. Did you have something to add? Orion's gonna do number 4.
number 7.
All right, hold on. Let's just do one at a time. Orion, go ahead. Do number 4.
Okay. Feast for positive.
Good.
Dinner for neutral.
Mhm.
And slot for negative.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to have dinner tonight versus tonight I'm going to have a feast.
That means a big difference.
Yep. Yeah. Romero. 5, go ahead.
Fragrance, smell, and stench.
Okay, so fragrance is positive, smell is neutral, and stench is negative. What is that awful stench? Negative. Smell is just kind of neutral. There's some sort of smell, some sort of odor. Might be good, might be bad. And fragrance is, that's like how we would describe a perfume or men's cologne. Okay? All right, Talia. Oh, this one's a tough one, by the way. So. Venerable. Okay. What do you think for the other 2?
I think for positive, cricket,
Okay, say that again. So you said positive was decrepit, neutral is venerable, and negative is old. All right. Amira, give it a shot.
Okay, I think positive is venerable, neutral is old, and decrepit is negative.
Okay, that is correct.
Wait,
What does
what was it?
venerable mean? Venerable.
Something like a nice way.
I think maybe antique.
Michael.
Still has some use even though of its age.
Yeah, sort of. Anyone else?
I don't even know what it means.
All right, venerable means like highly esteemed, respected, honored, or honorable. Okay, so if you were, going to the Supreme Court, the highest legal authority in the United States, you might describe those Supreme Court justices as venerable. The venerable nine. And decrepit. What does decrepit mean?
Kind of like falling apart.
Yeah, falling apart, good. Kind of feeble, kind of weak. Huh?
Worn out.
Worn out, yes. All right, yes, go ahead and do number 7.
Positive is tune, neutral is sound, and noise is negative.
Okay, yeah. Hey, I love that tune versus, what's that sound? Versus, can you turn down that awful noise, right? Sound, tune, and noise, or tune, sound, and noise. And lastly, let's go with Raphael.
Okay. Positive is pet, neutral is animal, negative is beast.
Okay, good. So it seems like we hit that out of the park. Let's go ahead and do exercise 3. Okay. I will give you, how many are there? There are 8 on the front and another 7 on the back. There are 15. How quickly do you think? Maybe like 3 minutes? 4 minutes?
20 years time.
Let's take 3 minutes, and if you need a bit more time,
20 years time.
then I'll give it to you. But try and do this independently. Okay? You know what we're doing?
You can start, right?
Yeah, go ahead. And I will come around and make sure that has any questions. So,
You keep blaming me for something I didn't do.
guys, don't make me move stuff, please. Never had to do it in this class. And while we're recording. Any questions over here? John, do you have any questions? No. All right. Shimon, is this making sense? Samara? Any questions? I'll come over here. All right, how about another 30 seconds?
Yeah. 30 seconds.
Has anyone ever heard of the East-West game?
What? No east-west game.
It's a football game that like tournaments
Okay, it is a football game. I'm talking about a different type of thing. I'm gonna explain it after we get to this. This is something that we might be doing on Thursday. All right, everyone more or less ready to go?
Ready, pretty much.
All right, let's review. Exercise 3, number 1, Jaquim. Go ahead and read the full sentence, give us both options, then tell us which you selected and why. All right, so read first.
The sooner we move out of this house, the sooner we move out of this house and don't, said Jack, the happier I'll be.
Yeah, one thing is I don't see house in that sentence. Okay. All right, so the choices are what?
Home and don't.
Yeah, and which did you circle?
Don't.
Okay, why?
Because he sounds like he's angry or something.
Mm-hmm, good. Yeah, he's not happy being there, so yes, you should have circled dump. Number 2, let's go with, Omar? All right. This is a tough one.
The cell phone is expensive or overpriced, but I don't mind paying extra because it has so many useful features.
Okay, cell phone is expensive or overpriced, but I don't mind paying extra.
I put expensive.
Expensive, okay, why did you choose expensive?
I'm just used to saying expensive, not overpriced.
Okay, all right, anyone else? Amira?
Okay, I said expensive because if it was overpriced, it'd probably be regular, but it'd just be too much money. But if it's expensive, it's usually because it has many good features.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, answer that I have is expensive, so I would agree with both of you. I think that the context clue we have in here is I don't mind paying extra. Okay? Because the difference, that tells us that if the phone is expensive, it costs a lot of money, and they're noting that this is something where they're going to be spending a lot of money, but they don't mind paying extra. If they said it was overpriced, they would say that the amount of money they're paying is simply not worth the device they're paying for. Okay? And in that case, they would mind. So it's a kind of subtle difference, but that's how I interpret it. Yes, Amaya. For the next one, or? Go ahead.
Okay. You're lucky to have Wilma on your committee. She has lots of original or crazy ideas.
Okay.
I think the original.
Original. Okay, why?
Because it seemed like the person talking likes Wilma.
Mm-hmm. And how do you know that?
One person says you're lucky.
Yeah. Okay. If she had said or she or he had said anything else, like instead of "you're lucky to have Wilma," what if she said, "It's so unfortunate that you have Wilma on your committee"? That would change how that person feels about Wilma. But she's saying you're lucky. So original is better than crazy for this because they're expressing maybe admiration for Wilma, or they're expressing that it's good that Wilma is on the committee. Go ahead, Raphael.
Boss Reed and his cronies?
Cronies.
And his cronies, employees, have controlled the politics in this city for more than 20 years. I certainly hope the other party wins this year.
Okay.
I picked cronies because it seems like they're not enjoying his control.
Okay, well that's very good. That is absolutely correct. Does anyone know what cronies actually means?
No.
How to use that? Anyone heard of cronyism?
Yeah.
Okay, so cronies are like, has anyone ever watched any of those Italian mafia movies?
No.
Like The Godfather, Goodfellas?
Oh yeah.
So the cronies, it's kind of like a word that means associate, except in this case, the context is usually a bit shadier or more illegal, okay? So cronies, it's like, almost like henchmen. You ever heard henchmen?
Yeah.
Anyone ever read any comic books, like where you see the villain and his henchmen are planning to attack this? Or yeah, so cronies, they're kind of like people who assist their boss guy in carrying out something illegal or something immoral. Cronies. Whereas employees are just what are employees? Yeah.
You do more legal stuff?
And they're just the people that work in a company. Okay? So yeah, cronies. Good. Number 5. Kenny.
It was a beautiful spring day, and the scent of apple blossom filled the whole yard.
Okay, so the choices there are stench or scent. Kemi has chosen scent. Do we think she's correct?
Yes.
Okay, and why?
Because stench is like, I guess, if it didn't smell good to you,
Mhm.
but apples pretty smell good to people.
Yes, they do. Okay, number 6, Romero.
I hope I don't have to share an office with Jenny. Sandra told me how curious and noisy she can be.
Okay.
Noisy.
Nosy.
Noisy.
What does nosy mean?
All
And
the
people
business.
Yeah. Heaven?
But doesn't curious and nosy kind of mean the same thing a little bit?
Yeah, they're very similar. What would be the difference between curious and nosy?
A whole bunch of questions.
You might be asking a lot of questions.
Curious means you want to do something.
It depends on the
Nosy
context
means
using it. You can make nosy, you can make curious out to be negative, but mostly it'll be positive.
Okay, so here's the point of connotation is, yes, you're right. They mean pretty much the same thing. But curious has a slightly more positive connotation, whereas nosy has a slightly negative connotation. You're asking too many questions. You might be poking your nose into places where it doesn't belong. Or you might just be asking really personal questions that are unwelcome or inappropriate for the business environment. Whereas curious, it's, you're asking a lot of questions, but they're welcome. In the context, they're appropriate. Maybe you're a student who's asking his or her professor about a difficult concept. That's the difference. So yeah, excellent question. Number 7. What is going on back there? Okay, I might have another one. Number 7, Diamond.
I think they is an excellent president said the principal. She really knows how to manage.
Okay, so our choices are what? And you selected manage. Why did you pick that over meddle? You're correct. I want to know the reasoning. Anyone want to give her a hand? Yeah, Raphael.
The context is using is positive because she's not using sarcasm and she's not. A meddle will usually be as she's being a bad person.
Yeah, meddling is kind of like, annoying, interfering, whereas managing just means operating effectively, or hopefully effectively. Yes, Michael, number 8.
Will you please turn off your stereo? I can't concentrate with all that music or noise. I chose noise.
Okay, and how do we know that that's the correct answer?
Because it says they can't concentrate in music. It seems like it's something you would enjoy, but with noise it's something that you don't like.
Yeah. Good. All right, on the home stretch now. Number 9. Derek, give it a shot.
I love going camping and getting in touch with nature. The woods are filled with so much environment or animal life.
Okay, good. Very good.
I pick animal life.
Yes. Yes. And why do we know that it's animal life and not vermin?
Because he says he loves camping, so it's
Yeah, he loves camping, he loves getting in touch with nature. Animals are part of nature, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Amira really wants to do number 10.
What makes makes Jer such an excellent storyteller is his knack for invention
Okay.
or line.
Okay.
I put line.
Okay, and why did you choose lion?
I put line because when you're doing stories, like it's also kind of like making excuses because you're lying about it.
Okay. All right. Anyone have a different answer? Yeah, Shemaya.
For number 10, I put invention because first it talks about how he's such an excellent storyteller, and then invention is like making up old stories and making them good.
Yeah. In this case, I would say the correct answer is what?
I was gonna say something, but
Go ahead.
I was gonna say that I think it should be lying because the person could be using sarcasm and say that he's an excellent storyteller, and if he's telling a story, then he's gonna be lying real possible.
Okay. Interesting. Anyone else? Okay. Well, that's a good point. I would still say the correct answer is invention. And here's why. Storyteller is someone who just tells stories, yes. Do we know necessarily that those stories are lies?
No.
It might be true. They might be fabricated, yes. But as a storyteller, does that word have, what kind of connotation does that word have?
Telling.
What kind of connotation does the word storyteller have? Yeah, storyteller is generally, I think, we could assume that it's someone who, their favorite hobby or maybe even their profession is just telling people stories. An example in today's world would be a guy like Garrison Keillor, maybe. He's a radio host and he likes to tell stories. And he is wondrously inventive. He's very bright, and he has excellent deep tenor baritone voice. I'd say it's more invention. You could make the case, Heaven and Amira. I think I would say invention, though, in this case. So, number 11. Jaquim.
Mr. Benton had better watch out for the new
Assistance.
of his he's a blank one. Clever.
Okay. Anyone else? Michael.
I chose for crafty
Why?
because it said that they better watch out. I was gonna think it was clever, but crafty seemed more appropriate.
Yeah, and this really, it's a very subtle difference. If you said clever, I would not mark it wrong, but the correct answer is crafty here. And that's because you have to watch out the assistant. That means that the assistant may have some sort of malicious intent, or at least dishonorable intent. So he's crafty. Clever is usually a good thing. Crafty is usually a little more ambiguous. Okay. Number 12. Let's go with Xavier.
I have a lot of respect for James Carter. He's rather reserved, antisocial, and dignified. I put reserved.
Good. Why?
Because antisocial means that you don't have to talk to people at all, and I thought reserved is the bad news.
Okay, yeah. Reserved. They could mean kind of the same thing, although reserved is more just you're kind of removed or detached. Maybe even a little aloof. Whereas antisocial is you are intentionally or actively trying to avoid people. But dignified. So that dignified means that it must be more reserved. Yeah. 13, go ahead.
My brother can't stand his mother-in-law. She's practically a millionaire, but she's about as thrifty, miserly as a person can get. I said miserly because thrifty. I thought the definition of thrifty was like stealing, but I don't know.
Well, your answer is correct, but I would look at reasoning again. Jaquim, was your hand up?
No.
Oh, just stretching, huh? Okay, so anyone else? Yeah, Xavier.
I thought the answer was
Thrifty, okay. Why?
because they said that she's a millionaire, but she's like thrifty, miserly as a person can be. So I thought it was thrifty because she was like, I don't want to spend money.
Well, thrifty means like, yeah, you hunt for deals. You're a very savvy shopper. Miserly means almost stingy.
Oh,
Stingy. Okay, so in this case, she's a millionaire.
But she doesn't want to share.
Yeah. She has a lot of money, but she still doesn't really like to spend it. Okay. So I'd say miserly is the better answer here. 14. Kenny.
This coffee is very bitter / strong, just the way I like it. Strong? I mean bitter. Strong.
What do you guys think on this one?
Strong.
Like bitter is like.
I thought bitter has like a sweet
Bitter
taste, so
means
it's
nasty.
sour.
no, it's like bitter.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, but you know,
You don't want your coffee too strong, but you don't want it too bitter.
I'm not really sure that based on the rest of the sentence, we can really say that one fits better
So
than the
can
other.
you just be both?
Because that's his or her
It depends
opinion.
on how you like your coffee.
I would say it could be either on this one because there are no contextual clues that indicate one is better than the other. Just the way I like it could apply equally to either bitter or strong. So either answer you have here for 14 is okay. I will not penalize you for having one or the other. All right, so number 15 then, Heaven.
Can you please add the new guest and then not?
Derek, can you close the door, please?
That means it's time to leave.
Can you please add the new guest and then not to be so enthusiastic, pushy? He is scared when it comes to I put pushy because if he was enthusiastic, then he kind of acted. So it's like if he's pushy, then
She's a little bit too aggressive, right? She's pushy. That's exactly what she's doing. She's scaring away the customers. Good. All right. So any questions on any of that? Yes.
On number 15, couldn't it be like couldn't it be enthusiastic? Because like if you too happy and stuff, you could scare away. Because I know if somebody's doing it,
It could. I could see that. I mean, I think pushy is still the better answer, but enthusiasm, if you are way too enthusiastic about something, that might be intimidating. Yes.
Not really giving them options.
And-
Because like you don't
All
want
right,
anybody
we gotta go. So last point, Raphael.
Okay, I'm excited. I think that it's pushy because if it was enthusiastic, she would probably be making the people want to buy them item, whatever she's trying to sell. Pushy, she's trying to force them in. They don't want to do it. They just
Okay.
get there.
Good. So guys, I will see you tomorrow at parent-teacher conferences or on Thursday. All right, and thank you, Sven.